My name is Akira Reinhardt. I am an Indonesian American artist who uses photography as their medium. I'm also graduating in T minus 5 months, so I am freaking out just a little bit. Otherwise, I'm just doing my thing. Just trying to keep film, alternative processes, and myself alive one step at a time. So I pretty much just shoot everything. I shoot whenever I see something that's super, super weird. I question human existence a lot. I question my own existence a lot. Um, I always keep my camera in my car. So if I'm driving, I will stop on the side of the road. I've learned to let go of the embarrassment that nobody's actually paying attention to. Um, and I'm trying to live my life with less photo regrets. That's just kind of something I learned to not live with because why would I want to think about the image I could have took when I could just take it? So that's why I do that. Also, I'm in love with light, like impressionistic lighting. Um, I call it that because that's pretty much what it reminds me of. It just reminds me of Impressionism, the fleeting moment, golden hour, stuff like that. I also used to do organized photo shoots, like costume, props, stuff like that. It's just too much for me. Not too much for me. It's just more like it's scheduling is really the main issue and why I just don't do it anymore. I also mostly just use my sister as a model, and she's always busy now because she's older than before. So my process in general is pretty slow. I tend to think first and then act. I'm always constantly shooting, whether or not I know where that picture is gonna go. Um, I also I shoot exclusively analog aside from my camera, like my phone camera. Um, so I try to like collect all of my rolls first. Um, I think the smallest amount that I've sent like gave to my lab was 3, and thus far the largest amount that I've gave was 18. I like waiting till there's a little like a cluster first and then go in, have them process it, and then I'll scan it. It's more like a Christmas present, even though it takes like forever. And it'll probably be easier to do it every time I shoot a new film or a new roll. Um, but I just like torturing myself. So what are you gonna do about it? Also, in terms of alternative processes, the main one that I use is cyanotype. I just love the color. So that really just depends on how lazy I am. Um, Whether or not I want to sit in the sun for 30 minutes. Or just if I feel the project requires the cyanotype, requires the blue color rather than complete color. For motivation, I really want to say that it's mostly because I want to speak more. I've always been really shy, especially growing up, like as a child. And I've been pretty shy up until like last semester of my junior year, the second semester of junior year. I'm tired of being quiet. I'm tired of not speaking my mind. So if I can talk as much as I possibly can, regardless if I'm actually speaking or not, I'll do it. Also, it's I find it's easier to like say exactly what's on my mind rather than like literally speaking it because I was so quiet as a kid, especially in high school. I just didn't have any friends until like halfway through sophomore year. I just didn't speak for like pretty much a year. So it's hard for me to speak even now. And it's like 5 or so years later. So that's mainly why it's just like a vessel to communicate my feelings, my thoughts, my physical and mental well-being, I guess. Um, I'm influenced by a lot of artists, a lot of imagery in general, Pinterest, Instagram. I also, probably my two favorite artists of all time are Lauren Tepfer and Petra Collins. Both of them have very similar aesthetics. Lauren is more landscape rather than portrait, and vice versa for Petra. So, but overall, they both have warmth, nostalgia, kind of um, dreamy and colorful. Whereas, I mean, my work is not really like that. But almost all of their images kind of like create this atmosphere that I really enjoy looking at and enjoy being in. So that's kind of what I want to gear my work, like that feeling. I want to like gear my work towards achieving. If that makes any sense. I don't know if I worded that right. Concepts important to me are warmth, nostalgia, family, adolescence, nature, transition slash transformation, existence, and permanence, but not really permanence because time does not exist. What I'm trying to say with my work is nothing really in particular. I'm kind of trying to say everything and nothing at the same time. Um, it's it's just an exploration of what it means to be alive to me, because I struggle a lot with mental illness. So I'm kind of walking a fine line between being dead inside and living. Um, so I'm really just documenting my existence so I don't feel like my life is so insignificant. I mean, obviously, in the grand scheme of things, my life is pretty insignificant, especially if no one cares about my work. So as long as I know that I'm documenting myself, I'm happy. So really what I'm trying to say with my work, I guess, is it's okay to not be okay. Um, it's okay to be uneasy. It's okay to question. It's okay to float. Yeah, it's okay to float. My work does not have a specific audience at all. I just shoot for myself. If you like it, thank you. I appreciate you. If you don't, then I really don't care. Like, at the end of the day, like I said, I'm shooting for myself. Why should I care what other people have to say? I don't take art that seriously. I mean, it's like my whole life, but art is fart. And I have always said that since sophomore year. That's why my name is Fart Heart. Like, art is fart. It's really not that serious. Um Not everything has to have a meaning. Not everything has to be so snooty and pretentious. So art is fart, and if you don't like my work, then thanks for looking at it anyways. I use a Series KS Super 2 the majority of the time. Just for the sake of speed, it's automatic, so I don't have to think about exposure. I just get to make a picture and move on with my life. So that's really like at the top of my list in terms of a camera. I have a Mamiya 645E I got for like an amazing price. Um, so I'm trying to use that more. I haven't seen anything I want to shoot with it yet. I do have it in my car. I have a ton of film for it. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying. I love medium format. I wish I had a Mamiya 7. I think that's what it is. Like a point and shoot almost. I also have a point and shoot which I keep in my pocket. I don't care about camera. If I can make something with the cheapest things possible, then that's great because I get to do what I love. Um, which leads me into the film I use. I don't care as long as it's color, 100, 200, 200 yeah, 100, 200, or 400, and it's color. It can be $2 and I will use it. It could be expired from the 90s. I will still use it. As long as it's cheap and does what I need it to do, I will use it. Maybe when I'm rich and famous one day, I can consistently use the same stock. But as of right now, I'm just balling on a budget, you know? So, what are you gonna do? in a perfect world, I know for my career, I definitely want to stay in the arts. I know at one point I want to work with kids who are in really tough situations because I've been in their shoes. So I know pretty much what it's like. Not like to the extent of some kids, but I can definitely relate. And I took a class the second semester of junior year where we went to an elementary school in South Philly and just gave kids some cameras and let them do whatever they want. And it was really nice. So shouts out to Lindsay Sparangana. Um, Unfortunately, I only got to work with the kids twice, instead of like 10 weeks or so, just because of COVID. So that sucks. I also know by the time I die, like my bucket list thing is owning a camera store. It's really important to me to keep analog things alive in the digital age, just to not only remember the roots, but it's really special. So I want to like keep that atmosphere alive. And I will single-handedly do it if I have to. I will purchase every single machine, factory, whatever, to continue making what I need to be shooting. So, yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching my interview with myself. This is Randall, and we are signing off. Good night.